Morning all, welcome back to Detecting Valhalla. So we're on a new permission this morning. We're out with the Legend. Let's see what we can find. Catch you on the first hole. Okay, straight into the first signal, 38, little lump of lead. On to the next. Okay, another signal, just flashed up at around 40, nice tone. There you can see there, it's a little stock tag. On to the next. Okay, another signal. Looks like a broken battery terminal. On to the next. Guys, before I go on, I just thought I'd give you what settings we're using. So we're in field mode, M1. Sensitivity is 29. It's not too chattery, it's actually quite nice on this field. Recovery is 4. And yeah, I think that's about all we need. Okay, another signal, sort of mids. No, about 31, 32, something like that. I'll turn you around for this one, but tiny bottom. Yeah, look, shanks off, but tiny little bottom. It's about 4 inches down, and the Legend just absolutely hammered it. So here we go. On to the next. This permission we've got is, well, was a Brussels field. So all we've got all over the floor is Brussels stalks poking out here, there and everywhere. So it's a bit of a challenge really to detect, but I don't think this has been detected before from what I know, or from what I can find out. So this is, you know, fairly sort of virgin ground. So fingers crossed we're going to find some good stuff. Yeah, as you can see, Brussels stalks poking up everywhere. The top's only just been broken up, so it's not, but we've got a big lump to go at. And as it keeps getting harder and harder to get permissions, then I'm thankful for everything we can get. So on to the next. Okay, just having another nice signal literally right next door to the little tiny button. There we go, got a nice buckle come up. There we go, tiny little D-shaped buckle. Literally 2 foot away from where that little button was. There we go. On to the next. Okay, another banging little signal. 33, 6 inches down. Musket ball. I don't know why, it's always so nice to find the musket ball. On to the next. Okay, I'm going to take you with me on this one. We just had a signal. It's 30, 32, 33. It's out the hole. Let's have a look what we got. There it is. Like a big old lump of, looks like brass. Maybe a bit of smelting stuff. This looks like it might have a bit of patterning on the front there, but we'll have a look later. And there we go, on to the next. Just to show you the depth that was at. All the way down there. So depth of the pinpointer and what? Well, it's got to be about at least 10 inches down, so you can see there might be a bit of patterning on the front there. We'll have a look later. There we go. Okay, another target. It was about 9 inches down. It's only a bit of scrap alley by the look of it. Well, it looks like a part of another livestock tag, but 9 inches down. It's about 10 mil across. This Legend don't miss much. On to the next. Okay, another signal, 35. Thought it was a coin. Yeah, thought it was a coin when it first came up, but you can see where the shank would have been. So, pretty thin old bottom. Can't see any pattern or anything on there, so. There we go. On to the next. Okay, another signal. This was again 35. Another button, 9 inches down. I don't know if you can see. We've got a bit of patterning on that one, look. Maybe a contender for Digger Dan's bottom pawn. But we'll see. There we go. Lovely little find. On to the next. Another signal, 42. About 5-6 inches down again. It looks like a battered halfpenny. See the ship on the back there if you, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but probably a George. There we go. Okay, just had another signal, 34. Let's get that out of the way. Pinpoint is having a moment. Right, let's try that again. Right, 34. It's in here somewhere. Scrap. On to the next. Okay, another signal, 24. Look how tiny that is. It's only scrap, but this Legend is like a magnet. On to the next. Okay, another signal, about 42, 43. Got a coin. That's it. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but it looks like maybe a George's, maybe second or third. Just about make out Britannia on the back there. Might be a bit more detail when we get it cleaned up, so there we go, we'll take that. On to the next. Right, just done another signal just as we're walking back. It was 48. And no idea what that is. Seems to have a hole through the side which goes all the way through. But there we go. We'll have a look at that. Anyway, next time you see me, I shall be at home. The cleans will all be the finds will all be cleaned up, and yeah, let's have a look and see what we found. Welcome back. So it's a few hours later. The finds have been cleaned. Let's have a look, see what we found. So as you can see, there wasn't a huge amount, but there was a few highlights. So we had these couple of bits here, which I was not 100% sure what these are. So not old and there's got a bit of thread on there. So there we go. There's a couple there for ID. If anyone knows, let us know in the comments. Big old lump of lead. A few battered buttons. I say there's one. No shank. Same again, tiny little button there. It's again shame there's no shank on it, but and we had this kind of interesting bit of lead. Seems to have a bit of a Almost looks like a lead wood louse. There you go. Whether it is anything or not, I'm not sure, but there we go. And we had this tiny little disc of something, so there's nothing on it. I presume it would have been a button again. It looks like there's a little dent there, so there's nothing there that identifies as a coin. So then we had this piece of lead, which was at one point, if you look on the end there, bag seal. It's been well battered. Then we had another tiny little bit. There's no fixings or anything on this one, so I don't know whether this is I don't know what that is. So I was hoping it may be a pinhead, but there's no hole. I don't know on that one. So if you know, let us know. Maybe a press. I don't know. I'm not sure. If you got any ideas, let us know. And we had the big old wonky buckle. Bit of damage on there. It's been battered. We had this rather nice little D-shaped buckle. It's quite a dinky little thing. Possibly highlight the day again. Nice little musket ball. Always love finding a musket ball for some reason. And then we had this. Quite a pretty little button. Looks like it would have been gilded at some stage. Still got the shank intact. And there's a bit of information on the back there as well, so nice button. And then finally we had the coin, which is going to be difficult for you to see, but I believe if we can get it at the right angle for you. Oh, I dropped it out. If you look, I don't think you're going to get it at the right angle, but it looks like there's just a George anyway. You can just about make out his face. And you can see the wreath there where that would have been on his head. And on the back you can make out Britannia's shield just there, head. But it's pretty battered. But I'm pretty sure I think it may be a George II. You can just see him in there. Unfortunately, there's no writing. It's fairly toasted. And then finally, there was this big lump. Pretty primitive kind of thread on it. Hole in the bottom there, but you can see some firework and bits and pieces on there. So it's not new, I don't think. Then it has this hole which goes right the way through. So I'm not sure, but I'm wondering if it may be part of a barrel tap. So obviously that would be open, that would be closed, open, closed. Or the other thing I did wonder was whether it was maybe a military piece and there would have been a cloth through there and you would have drew it through. I mean, it's a big lump, but maybe you drew it through a barrel or something to clean out a barrel, but I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go with barrel tap, and it would have had on the top here, obviously would have been the handle, which would have open, close, open, close. But yeah, if you have any ideas what that is, let me know. And that's pretty much it. That is a first trip out, so we've had a few bits and pieces, some interesting stuff. Shows there's people there. I've managed to hit probably not even an eighth of the field, so there's still plenty more to have a look at. And this is, you know, if this is an indication of things to come, then fingers crossed. Maybe some hammered, Roman, who knows. So thanks for watching. Sorry it's been so long since the last video, but all our permissions are now cropped, except for this one over here, and yeah, we're struggling to find anywhere to go. So I've asked a few, put a few feelers out for some more permission, so fingers crossed we'll get them. 2 of them are pasture, so we'll see. It's that time of year, isn't it? So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop us a like, comment, subscribe, share the video where you can. Helps the channel grow. And we'll catch you on the next one.